Good morning, my name's Debbie. I'm here to demonstrate our conference app for 2024. If you've been before, you know how much we use the conference app. It's a great little thing to be able to use to get information and to network. Now, you would have received the email from me that shows you how to download the app. If not, let me know. Included in that email will also be your username and password. So to get the app, you need to go to your app store and search for Ignite Event Launcher. As you can see, I've already done that. Once we get to that point, we then need to enter the event code. So we press this big arrow here, and our event code is WAC for WACSSO, and then 24 being the year. Then we click Done. Now it's going to update the content. Now, make sure when you look at your app, particularly if you've been previously, that it does have on the footer there WACSSO Conference 2024. If it's anything else, you may have the wrong event. It may be from last year. If you do have last year's event, what you can do is click this cog up in the top right-hand corner and change event, and that will actually take you back to the login screen previously. Now, depending on whether you've used it before, it may have asked you to log in. If it did, great. If it didn't, what I'll get you to do is log in by clicking on one of the icons that you need to be in your profile to access, and for example, that could be messages. I'm already logged in, so I'll just keep going. With these icons at the very top, you'll notice that the one on the left is refresh. That one you use periodically, particularly each day, maybe, just to see that everything that we've updated then gets updated in your app as well. But the most important one, I think, is this About app, the one on the right-hand side, because that has your privacy settings. So I'm going to click that. It shows you who made the app, etc. But if we scroll down a little bit, about halfway down, you'll see Account Settings with a little cog there. I want you to click on that, and you wouldn't be able to access this if you hadn't logged in, for instance. But here you've got all the account settings. You can change your picture and you can edit your account. I'm going to click on Edit Account. Now I'll ask you not to change things like your name and your organisation and electorate, etc. If you want to change your phone number and email address, you can, but that would be the limit of it. These privacy settings down the bottom are what I wanted to show you. So as you can see, under privacy, you've got visible to others. That means if you want to show up in the attendee list, you would have that ticked. If you didn't want to, then you would untick it. You can also allow or disallow messaging. So just by clicking on them, it actually turns it on or off. The other thing is what other people can see. So in mine, it's got show my email and show my contact number always. I'm a staff member, you'd expect that. However, you may decide that you don't want anybody to be able to see those, or you may just want your connections to be able to see them. Now, your connections are people that you've scanned their QR code, or you've actually searched for them and added them as a connection. So you can make it so that people you want to see it can, like a friend, I suppose, or you can make it as never or always. It's up to you what you choose. Bear in mind that with that, anybody who you allow to scan your QR code will see what you've got in there. So that includes our partners and exhibitors. Once you've done what you need to do in here, you can just click Save. I'm just going to click Cancel because I didn't change anything, and it'll bring all your information up there. And it shows all your settings and everything, including your username and password. Now, with any of the menu items, to go back to the main menu, you use the back button. On mine, it's at the bottom right-hand side. It's an Android phone. It may be slightly different on your phone. But I'm going to click back and back again, and we're back to the main menu section. Now, one of the important things that we need you to do when you first log in is to actually register for your workshops. Before you can actually register, you need to have a look and see which ones you want to access. So if you go into our schedule, I might do that a bit slower. You'll see the icon, it's directly below the WACSSO in the middle, and it's schedule. And that shows you the list of everything that's going to be happening at conference. It's very exciting. You'll see up the top in the grey bar, you've got Saturday and you've got Sunday. Saturday's in the darker grey, which is what is being shown. If you want to see Sunday, you just click on Sunday and it brings up the Sunday schedule. I'm going to go back to the Saturday. Now, if you have a look, you can actually have a bit of a read about information that's being presented. It might be, you would like to know about the AI presentation that's going to be part of the keynote, or you might decide you want to see who's the panel, the student panel, and where they're from. But what we're going to do now, actually before I go any further, I want to point out these bookmarks on the right-hand side. Those with anything in the app, you can click on the bookmark and it will be a reminder to you as to what you're interested in, or if it's a person, it's somebody that you'd like to make contact with. So in the 3 to 4:15 p.m. time slot, we've got 4 workshops listed. Now we've already had one that's already filled up, the workshop 2, so you won't be able to access that one, but you can actually have a look at them and see what's involved. Now, let's say we want to find out about the digital and AI risks for children. That workshop will be slightly different to the keynote, so don't think that you're going to be doubling up, but you can actually have a bit of a read through this and you can actually click on the people and have a read of what their profile is all about. You'll also notice too that we have these feedback forms on most of the workshops, etc. So afterwards, you can actually click on that and give us some feedback on what you thought. So you've had a look about that workshop and you might want to have a look at the Containers for Change workshop or the Nature Play or anything else. Once you've decided what you want, bookmark it. So as you can see on that workshop 1, by clicking on it, I clicked on the bookmark, it's made it dark blue. If I click it again, it makes it grey and I've unbookmarked it. So I'm going to, that's the one that I've decided I want to go to, so I'm going to bookmark it. Now I'm going to go to the Sunday because we've got 2 sessions of two sessions of workshops. And if you see in the 9 a.m. to 10:15 slot, we've actually got 4 more workshops. The Department of Education one is full, so you won't be able to access that one, but there are others that you can look at. So you might want to look at the business of running a canteen, which looks amazingly interesting if you ask me. Not that I'm biased or anything. Or you might want to have a look at the workshop 7 with Chris, that's the writing successful grant applications. When you're looking at these, you'll also notice that up the top there, it's got the time and also the venue and the presenter. So you can actually view by clicking show on map to show you where exactly the workshop is. So there, we've got workshops either in the ballroom or in the botanicals, which are downstairs. So if that's what you decide you want to go, you click back again. And as you can see, I've bookmarked that. So I've decided which 2 sessions that I want to watch or that I want to attend. You can go down and have a look at what else is in the event. I'm going to click back and we've gone back to the main screen. And you'll notice I'm just going to up the top there. I'm going to click on the cross at the right to get rid of those icons at the top. We don't need them anymore. But you'll notice that the top right icon now is workshop registration. That will actually disappear before conference starts because once you're there, it's too late to select your workshops. So have a bit of a read here, and then once you know what workshops you want to attend, you click on the arrow. I decided that I wanted to see the digital and AI risks for children, and I wanted to see the writing successful grant applications. So I'm going to click on that. So I've selected the 2. If, for instance, you know that you can't attend on one particular day, there is actually the option of not attending conference on the Sunday, just so that we know what's happening there. Then once you click submit, that form will disappear and you won't be able to access it anymore. If you do need to change your workshop selection for any particular reason, please just contact me and I can help you with that. So once you've clicked submit, I'm not going to. I'm just going to click back and we can go back to back to the main screen. Now the next thing I'd like to show you is this messaging option. Now some of the feedback that we received previously was that you asked us for being a way to be able to chat with people in your area. So we've actually set up this year some networking chat groups. So what we've got is one for regional delegates, one for South Metro and one for North Metro, and you'll be automatically allocated to those. If you allow messaging, as I have, you will actually see these messages pop up as they come. Please remember this is actually designed for networking, so we ask that you don't access this during the actual conference hours themselves, just because it does distract you from being part of participating fully in the conference. But if you wanted to, for example, the regional delegates that might arrive on the Friday night, if you feel like trying to meet up with some other people, catching up for dinner or something, you might put a comment on there, let's all go out for dinner. So, and you can start a new chat by searching for people who are have allowed messaging. So let's see. Okay, we've got Viv there. Viv's always awesome with catching up for conversations and things. So you can just type in there and you can say, "Hi, Viv," and you can guarantee that she will, almost guarantee that she will get back to you. So, and then click send. It's quite simple. I'm going to click back and we'll actually see if she responds. Oh, there you can see that where I've sent the message, and if she responds, it will actually, I'll get a pop-up for it. I'm going to click back. Bear in mind that if you've said that there's no messaging, then you won't actually get the message. The next thing that we have is the speaker list, so you can actually view all their profiles and photos. Our exhibitors. These are all our exhibitors that are having booths in our exhibition area. So if you would like to find out more information about one of them, you can click on them. Let's say, for example, Containers for Change. You might want to make some notes on there. It shows you all their contact information, etc., etc. Now, I've made a note here previously. No, I didn't make a note on this one. So you could actually, if you had a particular thing that you're interested in, if they told you some information, then you can actually save it on there. It's a good way of keeping track of things without having pen and paper. If you wanted to, I'll go back to Containers for Change. If you wanted to see where they are, you can click Show on Map and it will bring up the map of the exhibition hall, and in there it's got the red dot to show you where they are. Go and say hi. They're great supporters of WACSSO. Again, clicking back to get back to the main menu. The other thing that we have is our partner list. Most of these are actually exhibitors at conference, but you'll find that there are people there that are not actually attending conference. For instance, I don't think the ROC are actually attending. Then we've got our activity feed. Now this is actually quite a great way of sending messages to everybody. This is a bit like a networking notice board. So you can actually post things on here. Really great to put any photos that you take, all that kind of thing, because then everybody gets to see it. Then we have our conference guide and annual report. So this opens up and you can actually scroll through and you can see all the, you will get a hard copy of this. It's also available on our website, or you can access it via the app. Now, that was 9 icons. If you want, there's further pages. As you'll see down the bottom directly above the footer there, you can see that there's 3 pages worth of icons. So I'm going to scroll. Now, this QR scanner, this one will actually appear on your front page once we've taken out the workshop's registration icon. This is a way of keeping track of who you've spoken to, basically. So if you were to go into the exhibitors hall and you see their QR code on the side of their booth, you can go and scan that and you can make notes about what you've spoken to them about. The other thing that you can do is scan other people's badges. When you get your badge, you'll notice that on one side, you've actually got a QR code. We've only done it on one side in case you want to keep your privacy. That way you scan it and that way you can bookmark those people and you've made a connection with them. And then you can send them messages if you want to. You can make your information available to them. You can get their information. The other thing that the next icon along is the My Event icon. So if we click on that, it actually shows it's where you can bring up all your messaging. And if you've bookmarked people, so if I bookmarked Viv, for instance, you can actually see them and you can see your groups, you can see the direct messages, etc. You can also, if you've made notes on any of the people, the exhibitors, for instance, you can actually export those at the end of the session. Sorry, at the end of the conference. And that was another way of accessing your account settings as well. So we've done all at the My Event. Now social media is another one, so you can list your Facebook, etc. on there. Your app users. Now this is a way of looking at who's attending. If people have chosen that they want to be viewable, they want to be visible, then you'll find that they're on here. So for instance, we've got some people who have already updated their photos. We've got people like Julie, who's our Senior Vice President. You can actually go on and you can bookmark them by clicking on there, and that will make it somebody that you want to connect to so that it's a way of seeing who you're interested in. got all their details, etc. I'm going to unbookmark her so that it doesn't freak her out. And you've got Viv, you've got all our counsellors, all our staff will be on here as well. And you can use the search bar at the top if you want to. I'm going to go back. Then I'm going to go to floor plans. Now this one is actually a really important one. I'd like to point out the seating plan. Now this one hasn't been updated just yet, but it will be updated. It is going to show where each table, where your electorate will be sitting. So it's not allocated seating as such, but it's a way of seeing where everybody else from your electorate is sitting, because we like to keep them together. If you're not sure what your electorate is, it is in your profile and it is on the back, on one side of your badge. We also have the exhibitor floor plan, venue map, etc. Now the agenda items. For those of you who haven't been to conference before, you may not be aware that our conference is actually our AGM. So it's an important process that we actually also do things like accept our audit report, the President's report, and if we've had any constitution or policy items, conference is the only place we can change them. So we've also got action items which may have been submitted by either WACSSO State Council or one of the affiliates. So in this case, we've got an action item from Dunsborough Primary School regarding transport for children. So they're what we're going to be voting on. This you need to have spoken to your P&C about, because you must remember that you're representing your P&C at conference. It's not your opinion, it's the P&C's opinion that you need to consider, that you need to vote on. We've also got some other documents there for you. The WACSSO Constitution, bear in mind that that one didn't change last year, so even though it says 2022, it is still the current one. Our WACSSO policy and our effective meetings guide. There's also a few more things here. For example, if you wish to become a counsellor, there is a form here as an expression of interest. If your electorate is vacant, you can express an interest and we will contact you after conference. Frequently asked questions, your notifications are here as well. There's none at the moment because it's not active. You can also give presentation feedback. So when you're clicking on that, you can actually go, which one am I wanting to give feedback on? And everything from the schedule is listed in here, and you can give feedback. Feedback is the best way of us knowing what it is that you want when you attend conference, and we can hopefully continually improve. There will also be a conference feedback form. We've also got this student art choice. Now, I'm not going to click on it because I haven't updated it yet with the students that are attending, sorry, the artwork that's coming. But each P&C is able to bring along some samples of their student artwork if they wish, and it gets displayed in the foyer and it looks amazing. They do such a great job. So as P&Cs, you can go around and have a look, and then you can use this to select which your favourite piece of artwork was and then click submit. And by voting on that, it just means that that school could win a prize. Now, some people may have actually struggled to get their registration forms in time, into WACSSO in time, so you may not have your QR code on the back of your badge. If that's the case, and you want people to be able to scan your badge without having your actual badge on, you can actually use this, and it brings up your QR code rather than actually having a hard copy. So that was on the bottom left where it says My Badge. And then we have the photo policy there. For those of you who do not want to have your photo taken, you can actually fill in a form on our website to exclude that. But we do ask that the onus be on you that if there is a camera being pointed at you, that you move away from that photo. So what I'd like to really emphasise is that those privacy settings are really, really important, and so you need to review your own privacy settings, and you can change them if you decide that you do want to change them partway through the conference. The other thing is that any information that you get on anyone else, particularly other delegates, it is confidential and it's given to you in good faith, so please don't misuse any of that information. If you have any problems and you need some troubleshooting advice, please go and see either Justin or Lisa. They're our partners out in the foyer of the conference area at the information desk, and they will be able to help you. or alternatively, find someone with a WACSSO shirt and ask them to direct you towards me and we can help you. And give us any feedback. We love to know what's going on. Thank you very much. Good luck. I look forward to seeing you at conference.